the playoffs are not harder than the regular season. And to me, I'm not subscribing to that. The playoffs now are just
I
not
mean,
harder than
they
the regular
are
season.
by virtue of the fact that you play better teams on average. The shitty teams don't make the playoffs. You don't get the stat pad against bad teams. So yes, they are harder by
Stat
virtue
pad.
of that.
I'm
But other
not
than
talking
that,
about
it's still
stats.
basketball. I agree with you on that one.
I'm
It
not
is
talking.
still
I'm not talking
basketball.
about stat wise. I'm talking about just basketball game wise. Like,
Yeah, but I'm
I
saying
get
you don't get to play against the Wizards, so your averages are going to go be worse. I mean, if the playoffs are not harder, then you got to explain to me why almost like 99% of people are worse in the playoffs than they are in the regular season.
it's just I don't know if it's necessarily worse. It's just a different style. The game is a little
Or
different.
if you
So
shoot worse, score
the
less,
stats
you're
the
worse.
stats aren't
No?
the stats aren't going to be the same. Stats aren't always indicative of difficulty of play. It's just a different style. It's y'all always talk to me about how things slow down in the playoffs and it's more compacted.
Right.
Some people, it's just, and on top of that, Pin, I think when we talked about this before, I was saying I think it also depends on the basketball player. Some basketball players are more comfortable slow down and just different style, and some players who actually take more pride in defense, what I'm saying, get a chance to actually play more of their game in the playoffs. I think as well.
I,
But we
I
don't got to
think
get
like
it all
there's
the way
certain
into.
players that are going to do better in the playoffs and certain players who are going to do worse. Like for instance, Ox, I'm sure if I coach against your team, like you playing, I'm going to notice some stuff in game 1 and I'm going to make an adjustment in game 2. And by game 4, I know all your moves and the guy that, is defending you has a rhythm for how to guard you. So by game 5, you're going to get exposed. If you have a weak
Damn,
left hook, you're getting exposed. Whereas in the regular season, I got more of a global game plan in terms of how I'm guarding you. I don't have 2 weeks to research you. There's not the high stakes. So I feel the people who get exposed in the playoffs, the guys that don't have counters, don't have a half court game, don't have a deep bag, have glaring weaknesses, i.e., Amen Thompson with his jump shot. Yes, like obviously, secrets out. Everybody knows Amen and Asar can't shoot for shit. So teams will back off. They'll go under every single screen, and you'll have to force them to, attack wide open space. That being said, if you got a weak drive going left, now we scouting that too when you're coming off that coming into that wide open space. So I just think there's
Oh,
certain players you can kind of see it. You can see it. There's certain guys they
yeah,
just don't have a lot of counters to their game.
right. And see, Pin, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about real hoopers. I'm not talking about weak niggas that don't got multiple moves and counters and shit. I'm talking about real
That's
basketball
crazy,
players.
Ox. That's a hell of a
Yeah, I'm
segue.
just saying. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. I'm not talking about weak niggas. I'm talking about good basketball players.
DeMar DeRozan is one of the biggest playoff droppers in NBA history, right?
I don't care. I've never been a fan of DeMar DeRozan until he put that Sacramento Kings jersey on. I don't care what you say about DeMar DeRozan.
I wonder if I
Never
said
once
that
have y'all
the-
ever heard me up here praising DeMar DeRozan until he came over here with us.
I wonder if I said that the playoffs is the same as the regular season. I wonder if I would have been able to get that off.
I'm not able to get it off. Chill. I get attacked every time I bring that up.
I wonder if I would have
The
been able
chat,
to say
the chat.
Chill, you
kills me
shouldn't
for it.
want to get it off.
They say I don't. They say I don't know what I'm talking about. Niggas that ain't never touched the basketball in the chat talk about. Oh, here goes Oxy yapping. Man, sit your ass down and shut up.
Wow. Like the postseason and the regular season are the same offense because it's basketball at the end of the day. All you do is you just play your game. Like you don't really have to. You don't really have to readjust who you are. You don't really have to do anything different. No, it's basically the same as the regular season. So if we lose, it ain't no big deal. Even though our season is ending on the spot, as opposed to in January, if we lose, like we got another couple of games to get it figured out. But in the postseason, if we're playing against a better team, seeing better defenses, as long as I just play my game, none of that stuff matters. As long as I do what I'm supposed to be doing, none of that stuff matters. The fact that there's more people there, the fact that there's more cameras there, the fact that there's more pressure there. Like if you lose, you're out. Players play better when the playoffs come. But the playoff, I'm just wondering if I said something like that, like would I be able to get that off? Because that's just
I don't know, Chill. I can't speak on that, but I will say that y'all keep saying that you play better teams. I mean, you're playing one opponent. So depending on what round it is, what seeding you are, you're not playing 30 or 29 different teams. You know what I mean? So sometimes, yeah, you might come against a lesser opponent, but then sometimes I got to play OKC. So if I'm in the playoffs and I'm playing against the Grizzlies, You know what I mean? So that it doesn't
Yeah,
that
but
doesn't
go
go
by
for that
averages.
doesn't go for that
Go
doesn't
by
for-
averages.
Yeah, but that doesn't go for every round. Plus, you're playing the same team. So, Pin, the same thing that you just said to me about being able to scheme, the same thing applies for every coach. They get the scheme against us, and we get the scheme against them.
Even
So
if you are the best team.
But still, that's it. What I'm saying, Pin. I'm not saying that every single game is harder than the playoff game. I didn't say that. I'm saying that in
Which
the
means it's
82
different.
game. Exactly. It's different. In a lot, in what you guys always come up here.
Which means it's harder.
No, that's not harder.
Yeah.
Different doesn't. So what it does? It just doesn't necessarily mean harder. Now I'm not saying it's the same for everybody. We've had this conversation before already. So I was trying to get off it, but since we'll talk about it, I'm just going to explain to myself again. There's y'all always talk about players not being able to do this, not being able to do that. So it makes me seem like y'all feel like these professional basketball players can't adapt. They can't handle adversity, and that's what you get a lot of in the regular season. You have to move around. You got like 5-game road trips. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on. So
Ox,
All right, hold on,
wait. Ox,
We'll
have
get to
you
it in a
not
second,
seen,
Pitch.
Ox,
It's
have
right,
you not seen players who are awesome players crumble in the playoffs?
I've seen
Have
awesome
you not
players crumble in the regular
DeMar
season.
DeRozan.
You have okay. So
Every
when
year,
have you
clockwork.
when have you seen players crumble in the regular season
All
more
the
than
time.
you? Okay, so how often have you seen players crumble in the regular season?
All the time.
And how often have you seen players crumble in the playoffs?
A lot. All the time. They crumble.
okay.
They're basketball players. They're good. Some
Okay,
of
so
them crumble. Some of them don't.
When we're in the playoffs, when the stakes are higher, guys, like you said, Ox, guys go to the free throw line and they crumble just like they do in January. But I got 2 days from now where we play the Bulls, who aren't nearly as good as Memphis, who aren't nearly as good as Houston, by the way, I got to see them again on Saturday. Like, I don't get to see Toronto, or I don't get to see Washington in 2 days. I got to see the same Memphis
Toronto?
team. I'm just using Toronto as an example when they were bad. Well, I have to see this Houston team who I'm struggling against, who I don't do well against, who schemed against me, who exposed all of my weaknesses. I got to see them again on Saturday. And guess what, Ox? I got to see them again on Tuesday. I don't get to see New Orleans. I don't get to see Chicago.
Yeah,
I don't get to see Washington.
I get to get my get back.
Okay, but here's the difference. I've already schemed against you. You could get your get back against a weaker opponent. When the playoffs start, you don't get to get your get back against a weaker opponent. You get to get your get back against somebody who's got you figured out, which would explain why these guys crumble the way that they do.
But so why doesn't it go? Y'all act like there's only one side of this. It goes both ways. Like it's hard to beat a team 4 times. It's hard to lose to a team 4 times.
No, it ain't.
You know what I mean? That's
No, it's not hard. It's not
I
hard to lose.
I just disagree. I'm not. Once again, like I said before, I'm not saying
We've
either
seen
one is
players give up.
easier.
We've seen
I
that
just
before.
don't. Okay, well that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about sorry niggas that's gonna quit. Chill. I'm talking about real
We've seen the
hoopers.
best of them give up.
Question.
Well, them niggas, maybe they're not the best. If you give up,
submission.
if you give up and you quit, you're not the best. So who you think is the best isn't the best if they're quitters.
It's called being beat into submission, Ox.
Now, I don't know if you're supposed to get beat into submission.
This is basketball. This isn't the UFC. How am I getting beat
I don't know.
into
I don't
submission?
know in basketball you're supposed to submit. I think you just give your best and shit. If you just, I kind of agree with Ox a little bit.
I'm speaking for hoopers. I don't speak for.
I do agree with
We should
Ox a
have a
little bit
debate on this.
as far as like the best guys. Like when it comes to the playoffs, like they turn that shit up. They not worried about. Like it ain't no different for them in the regular season to the playoffs. They gonna turn that shit up. Now, motherfuckers that's like role players that just do some bullshit, it's a little different. But I do think the playoffs is harder though because you got to focus a lot more. And since you got to focus a lot more, you got to pay attention to more detail. But as far as what Ox saying about sorry niggas gonna be sorry in the regular season or the playoff. Like it is what it is.
I mean, you could bench press 180, but if I add 2 plates to that, it's gonna be harder. That's kind of what the playoffs are. It's just a little bit harder. It's still basketball, but it's harder.
It's only 270, so it's not that hard.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoop talk hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.